Francis Ngannou beat Tyson Fury. And boxing is in shambles right now. But before I start this absolutely legendary rant, don't forget to like, share, follow, or subscribe, or whatever the deal. And let's get started. Now, I don't believe Tyson Fury vs. Francis Ngannou is a robbery. I think it could have gone either way. But I think you have to make it a win for Francis just off precedent. Imagine if this was any other sport and somebody making their debut was able to stand toe-to-toe with the champion, take it the distance, and arguably win. I feel like just off principle, you've lost the fight. But why do I believe boxing is in shambles because of this? Well, because I believe boxing is a dying organization. The best part about boxing is the actual boxing part. The worst part is literally everything else. We had to wait 2 hours between the co-main event and the main event of the Francis vs. Fury fight. I don't even know what the co-main was because I am so glad that I didn't have to pay for this fight. Because $80 to wait 2 hours for the fight that I actually paid for is the reason why boxing is dying right now. A little reference for you. Have you guys ever seen, like, the Samurai Wolverine movie? Boxing right now reminds me of the dude who survived the bomb in World War II and is being kept alive by, like, the life support system. That's what boxing looks like. It's like, it won't quite die yet, but it's almost there. But I'm getting off topic really quick. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I'm starting to believe Jake Paul when he says that he is the most popular boxer in the world. If you're going to call him a boxer, he might be right. Apparently, Logan Paul vs. Dylan Dennis sold somewhere in the realm of 1.3 million pay-per-views, which I don't buy. I don't believe it sold that much. I think it's more in the realm of like 700,000, which is really depressing that my generation is buying these fights when streaming them is so much easier than it's ever been. You have chosen to spend, wasn't it like $55 for that card? Bro, how? You could fill a tank of gas with that much money, and you choose to buy that? I mean, like, at least you didn't have to buy this card, which was a joke. I think the most frustrating part about it is boxing has everything it needs to destroy MMA. But they don't, because there's so much corporate greed and corruption in the sport of boxing. And it's so weird that boxing is one of the few sports where if you don't agree with a decision, you can just say, oh, well, it's rigged. And you're probably not wrong, because there's so many dirty judges in boxing that you're probably right. Like, that, yeah, that probably should have gone the other way. That probably should have gone to him. I think you should have given it to Francis. I think there was too many swing rounds. That one scorecard, I believe it was a 96-93. That's rigged. I'm sorry. That guy that just didn't want to accept that boxing as a sport lost that night. And I don't think boxing as a sport is bad. I think if you put somebody like Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis against somebody like, even like Sean O'Malley, I think Sean O'Malley would lose that fight. I think the lighter weight classes of boxing are perfect. I think Canelo Alvarez and down, we're good. We don't have to cut that out. Heavyweight boxing was exposed as a sham, bro. Deontay Wilder fought 3 fights with Tyson Fury. Got schooled in the second fight. And the Tyson Fury who won the trilogy fought Francis Ngannou on Saturday night and couldn't finish him. You've lost. I understand why you guys are salty about it, and you guys are pulling out every excuse you possibly can, so let's dismiss a few of those. Some people are saying that Tyson Fury didn't really take this fight seriously. What a weird excuse, but whatever. Tyson Fury said himself that he had a 12-week training camp for this fight. If you can't take a fight seriously with a 12-week training camp, you're just unprofessional at that point. Off principle, you should have executed Francis Ngannou within the first round of that fight, but you couldn't do it. And it's not like Francis became an amazing boxer in the 2 years that he had off. Oh, that was another one. Tyson Fury said it was ring rust. Bro, you had 1 year off of boxing. Francis Ngannou had 2 years off of combat sports. Not even 2 years off of boxing. MMA. Bro lost his ACL and still beat Cyril Gane. Francis Ngannou is a savage, make no mistake about that. But bro, don't bring up that excuse when it goes both ways and it argues more in favor of Francis more than it does you. And bro, you know you messed up when the organization that you're the champion of, the WBC, had to put Francis Ngannou, a guy who is 0-1 in his professional career, in the top 10 rankings of heavyweight, to save face. Because what this looks like on paper and what the record books in the next 50 years are going to remember is a guy in his debut took the reigning champion to a split decision on his first ever fight. This will not be remembered well, and I think Fury and his team understands this, because how could you not? And that's why they didn't do the post-fight presser, because what do you say to the press? What do you say to save face here? What can Tyson Fury go to the press conference with and somehow make this look better than it already did? Francis Ngannou exposed the sport of boxing, and I am so happy I was wrong about it. I thought that Francis Ngannou was going to get so schooled that he was going to be beaten into irrelevancy, go to the PFL, and maybe win 2 fights there and then retire. Because let's face it, nobody watches the PFL aside from highlights, and that's it. I was going to say illegal streams, but nobody bothers illegally streaming the PFL. I don't even know if they do pay-per-views because they know that they aren't going to sell well. Look what happened to Bellator. Bellator put Showtime MMA out of business, but that's a completely different rant. There you go. Let me spell out what boxing has turned into now. Jake Paul is now one of the biggest stars in boxing. It's Jake Paul, Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, and you could say Gervonta Davis, but I mean, like, I honestly don't know. But yeah, there you go. Boxing is dying, MMA is up, and I'm happy about it.